What it do, chooms? Welcome back to Space JB. I am your rogue AI body snatching, forever in the shadows watching, and secretly taking over Night City, Mr. Space Eyes, and thank y'all for clicking this video. 2023 was the most prime year for Cyberpunk. CDPR gave the fans the best version of the game to date, and we were all treated to a number of patches over the years so massive it could fill the NC Corsair Stadium, and the release of the acclaimed Phantom Liberty expansion was a breath of fresh ass.
Pardon me? What? You said ass. I didn't. I said...
With Phantom Liberty being an overwhelming success, what if Cyberpunk decided to do more paid DLCs and expansions down the line in Cyberpunk 2077's future? Cause who am I kidding? We all want more Cyberpunk. And yes, I'm willing to crack open my wallet to get it. Damn. So without further ado, and before you unsubscribe, let's cook up those engines and let's take off.
Good news, everyone!
Well, what is it?
What is what?
First off, let me say this. I know due to a lot of good reasons, CDPR is moving away from new content, and a big reason is the fact that they are moving away from the Red Engine onto Unreal Engine 5. As a major fan of the game, and not knowing how games are made, I always ask myself, could the big fix be solved with a little bit of cheese? I know that in the gaming and entertainment industry, finances are a very practical foundation. The company's aim for future gaming is already to move towards more open world style gameplay versus their usual linear approach. Since CDPR already had their mind set on adding these features into future projects, this might be the perfect time over the next few years to test some things out for 2077. Not only would these new experiments help keep Cyberpunk relevant, but it also could potentially fund maybe a small dev team that only dedicates its time towards updating and providing new content for 2077. What do we gotta do to show that we worthy? Pick up f***ing Mjolnir? No matter the size, funding a dev team to support the game while they're transitioning into a whole new studio, a whole new engine, will cost some major eds to even put together. This is where potentially CDPR can reach back into their old bag.
Take her back, come on, take her back.
CDPR is known for hiring modders to have come in and work on everything from quest designs to things involving the game engine itself. This wouldn't be anything new, yet paying for more content surely would be. Take a trip with me, my chooms. Just imagine this. It's a nice crispy evening, late at night, maybe like 1 o'clock in the morning, and you got nothing else better to do but watch your big bro Space on YouTube. You know, we adults, you know, we chilling, we laughing, we bonding out here. And then news comes in. We cybernauts wake up to see that there is going to be new content dropping for 2077. CDPR decides to go all Chris Angel and announces that they're working on a new expansion. This expansion that I'm talking about, hypothetically, could range anywhere from $10 to about $25. I haven't necessarily thought of a storyline or anything like that, yet you don't have to always create brand new characters for these expansions. You can use any of the lesser known, kind of known, or even more popular characters, somebody like the Fixer Dino to Mr. Blue Eyes. You can go with Hanako, you can go with a lot of different people, or take a turn and do more nightclub crime syndicate style work, getting some Ballad of Gay Tony vibes. Some of you cybernauts may think I'm absolutely crazy and might make the game worse.
Worse or better?
The content can even aim towards exploring more of the different factions and gangs that are in Night City, opening up the story for the Valentinos, the Maelstrom, even the Voodoo Boys, well, whatever's left of the Voodoo Boys, cause we kinda gave Madame Brigitte and Placide the 2-piece and a biscuit combo, and I mean, it could be a great revenge tale. You see where I'm getting at with this type of stuff? There's so many directions that we could go in.
Should we be writing this down? Let's get this down. All right, this is good. All right. Okay.
This could be the way to start and kick off a whole new relationship between CDPR and its fans, giving us more underground nightlife of the most dangerous city in the lore of Cyberpunk. With content like this, you can add a whole host of new features. I'm talking new apartments, more hangouts and different activities to do in them, and you can also add in more cosmetic features, new hairstyles, more tattoos, because the same 4 to 7 options that we get just aren't cutting it. Fashion and style is a big part of Cyberpunk's lore. I'm talking the entropism to neo-militarism. There's a lot of things that your fashion and the way you dress says about you, instead of the options just being based off of who you choose to be. Even with other games that have tried this and found a lot of success, CDPR is one of them. They had 2 expansions for The Witcher 3 that brought them a lot more success post-launch of the game. And I already hear you uproaring Witcher fans. Cyberpunk and The Witcher are different, you bastard. You hear us? Don't you ever compare the two! What I'm saying is CDPR just isn't new to doing paid expansions, and Cyberpunk, being one of its babies, sold 4.3 million copies with Phantom Liberty. So if they did a fraction of that, they're still making double-digit millions. Some of us fans just aren't done with Cyberpunk and just want more content. I'm not thinking about the people who said, just leave it alone, move on, you idiot! No! No! We've only had this game for a short bit of time, and most of that was rebuilding and fixing the game. We finally have the opportunity to play a fluid, really well put together version of Cyberpunk 2077. I've always felt since the 2.0 patch and the expansion launch, we really got the ultimate version of Cyberpunk, which was originally supposed to have happened years ago. With that being the case, and taking out that they are moving on to a whole nother engine, just having a small dedicated team hiring modders and community-based creators to really put their time into helping out with this kind of project. With time and some smart moves, CDPR has delivered on a pretty well done RPG. Honestly, I feel it has earned as much praise for the current state of the game as it could get. Not only was it worth every cred chip, it also prompted new fans to pick up the game and also buy the combo pack. Earning back the loyalty of your fans in the entertainment and gaming industry seems like one of the hardest things that you can do. Phantom Liberty not only delivered, but it also proved that we were willing to pay for content that added more features to the game and made it better. It's either that or we just wanted to see Idris Elba in Night City. No matter your reason for playing the game or when you first picked it up, I feel that there are many different things that could be added to the game that are worth paying for. What's that old saying? Numbers don't lie? Games like The Sims 4 has been dishing out thousands of simoleons worth of content over the last years, and people still, whether they like the content or not, are spending money on it. Games like GTA fall in the same exact category. And as a desperate bone, The Witcher had 2 paid expansions. Can Cyberpunk get the same? The narrative to CDPR's journey with this game could have been completely different and went a little bit like this. After having Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba, Cyberpunk still fails because fans don't want to pay for content due to the fact that they had a horrible experience at the beginning of the game's launch? I get it. That wasn't the reality of our favorite RPG. Instead, we had a big seesaw effect. A lot of fans got their returns, trashed the game, others stuck with it, bought more copies, and then a big boom from the modding community that showed fans wanted more from the game. So much so that some of us modding fans were doing donations to support those creators that were working tirelessly to make the game better. By now, some of you may not be convinced that paid expansions and more DLCs for Cyberpunk could be the way to go. That's okay. Everybody has the right to their own opinion. One thing I think would be pretty awesome if it happened a few years from now, if CDPR decided to do an Unreal version of Cyberpunk 2077, just to say goodbye to the Red Engine and hello to the Unreal Engine 5. We still can get the Witcher project that will launch on UE5, though for the Cyberpunk fans, since there's going to be a long wait. I mean, GTA 6 just got announced and it's been over 10 years, so who knows how long we would have to wait for Project Orion to come to fruition. And with that being said, I think it would be such a great fan service even if they decide to not do any more expansions or major patches, which would be heartbreaking. With the proof already being engraved in Unreal Engine's capabilities, something of that magnitude wouldn't be as easy as it sounds, and if they did do something like that, they can have my money. 40, 50, I'll pay even another 60 bucks for that.
Nice day. Shut your noise tube, Taco Human.
And back to what I was saying earlier, though as of this week, they're going to be launching a new patch. It's going to be a smaller patch, nothing in comparison to 2.0 or 2.1, yet they are still doing minor things to help continue to fix the game. Would it be that hard to afford a team to work on Cyberpunk continuously until codename Project Orion is ready? I've said before in previous videos that Cyberpunk still seems like it has a lot more life to give and more content that we can explore. And the fact that we just now are getting the best version of the game and then being told that there's not going to be anything major added onto it after this Phantom Liberty expansion, I feel like we're now going to be Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception, just stuck in limbo. With the topic that I'm talking about, I know it's an absolute long shot when it comes to the game developers and their ideas on what they want to do with their own creation. I just feel that with the fact that Cyberpunk still has a little bit more left in the tank, it would just keep Cyberpunk in the news. That way, while we're building up to codename Project Orion, Cyberpunk just doesn't fall off by the wayside. And I will say this, I want to stay away from the one word that plagues a lot of games, and that's microtransactions. I don't want to go through all that hoopla and just whipping out my wallet anytime I want my character to get better, or paying for gonk expansions that have no merit or any benefit to the game. Only really looking for things that add to the world of Cyberpunk 2077, whether that be in making the world more available and more explorative, giving us more missions that tap into the mysterious and in-depth lore of Cyberpunk 2077, the endless storylines that can be created from introducing us to new characters or exploring deeper into some of the current characters that are already a part of the world of 2077. Stuff like that is more entertaining to me than just paying to make my player better. Everything from the modding community to the Phantom Liberty expansion has shown that we fans are willing to donate all the way to just outright paying if the content is right for Cyberpunk 2077, if the content fixes, adds, or builds upon the world of Night City. And once again, I get to leave it up to you, my tunes. Am I out of my damn mind? Have I completely jumped off the edge thinking that paid DLCs and paid expansions would save this game? Or am I onto something? Would y'all all play the Unreal version of Cyberpunk 2077 if it launched? And how many of y'all would actually be willing to throw some money at more paid expansions and DLCs? I'd love to hear from you all in the comments below. And if you stuck around this far, I want to thank you so much for clicking this video. As always, your support on this channel is much appreciated, turning something that I once feared into a passion that I truly enjoy. I can't thank you all enough. And if life ever gets you down, remember the people that you trust are the ones that you should confide in. There's also professional help out there for you if you take the opportunity to take the first step. Don't always wait on somebody to reach out the helping hand. Sometimes you got to be the one to help yourself out of the mud first. For those other times you're feeling a little bit under the weather and you got a PS5, a PC, or an Xbox, go ahead and boot that bitch up because there are plenty of gonks in Night City to be slain. Take care of yourself, spread a lot of love. I'm sending you nothing but love from the cosmos. Y'all know your boy Space got your back. And until my next video, let's go ahead and end transmission. And I'm out. Peace.